Do you ever feel lonely? It's a question that, more often than not, is met with a nod of understanding. Loneliness is a universal experience, one that doesn't discriminate by age, race, or social status. It's a part of the human condition, and yet, it's often misunderstood. Many assume that loneliness is simply about being alone, but that's not always the case. One can be surrounded by people and still feel utterly alone. It's not about the number of people in your life, but the depth of your connections with them. This video aims to shed light on the often shadowy topic of loneliness and provide you with actionable steps to combat it. We'll delve into understanding loneliness, acknowledging your feelings, seeking social connections, engaging in meaningful activities, practicing self-care, and when necessary, seeking professional help. So, if you're ready to take control of your loneliness, stay tuned. Firstly, you need to understand what loneliness really is. At its core, loneliness is a universal human emotion, a signal from our brain that something is missing in our lives. It's akin to the hunger you feel when your body craves nourishment or the thirst you experience when you need hydration. It's a feeling of disconnection, a gap between the social interactions you want and the ones you actually have. Loneliness isn't a fixed state of being, but a fluctuating feeling that waxes and wanes. It's not a label, but a temporary condition. It's like a cloudy day. The sun hasn't disappeared, it's just hidden behind clouds. Similarly, your sense of connection and belonging hasn't vanished when you're feeling lonely, it's merely obscured by your current emotions. It's also important to note that loneliness is not synonymous with being alone. One can be in the midst of a crowd and still feel lonely. Loneliness is not about physical proximity to others, but about emotional connection and feeling understood. Everyone experiences loneliness at some point. It's a completely normal part of the human experience. The world's most accomplished individuals, from renowned artists to eminent scientists, have grappled with feelings of loneliness. It's a common thread that binds us all, reminding us of our shared humanity. Recognizing loneliness as a feeling rather than a defining characteristic can help us approach it with a healthier perspective. It can empower us to take steps to address it, to reach out for connection, and to seek help when needed. Remember, feelings are like visitors. They come and go. They don't define you, but they do provide valuable information about your needs and desires. And just like a visitor, loneliness doesn't stay forever. It's a transient guest in the house of your mind, not a permanent resident. So let's embrace the understanding that loneliness is not a life sentence, but a signal, a call to action to foster connections and enrich our lives with meaningful interactions. Now that you understand what loneliness is, let's move on to the next step. The first step in combating loneliness is to acknowledge your feelings. It might sound simple, but it's a step many of us can easily gloss over. When feelings of isolation creep in, our instinct might be to push them away or ignore them. But suppressing these feelings can often make them feel more overwhelming. Instead, let's embrace them. Understand that it's okay to be lonely sometimes. It's a part of the human experience. Now, how do you effectively acknowledge these feelings? Start by giving them a name. Say it out loud or write it down. I'm feeling lonely. This small act can help you to externalize the emotion, making it something you can observe and deal with, rather than something that consumes you. Remember, it's not about wallowing in your loneliness, but rather about understanding it. Recognizing your emotions is the first step towards managing them. Once you've acknowledged your feelings, you can then start to address them. The next step is to seek social connections. We as human beings are inherently social creatures. Our happiness and sense of fulfillment often stem from our interactions with others. So, when we feel lonely, it's important to reach out and connect. Social connections can take various forms, and they all have the potential to enrich our lives. You might think of close friends and family, but connections can also be found in coworkers, neighbors, and even the friendly barista at your local coffee shop. It's about surrounding yourself with people who provide positive energy and a sense of belonging. Now you might wonder, how do I make new connections? Well, there are plenty of ways. Joining clubs or societies that align with your interests is a great start. It could be a book club, a sports team, a cooking class, or a local volunteer group. These environments provide a ready-made community of like-minded people, making it easier to strike up a conversation and forge new relationships. And what about strengthening existing connections? This is equally important. Make an effort to spend quality time with the people already in your life. Call that friend you haven't spoken to in a while. Plan a family dinner. Engage in activities that you all enjoy. These actions help deepen your relationships, providing a stronger safety net against feelings of loneliness. Of course, building and maintaining social connections takes effort, and it might feel daunting at times. But remember, it's not about the quantity of your connections, but the quality. It's better to have a few meaningful relationships than a multitude of shallow ones. Also, it's important to note that everyone's social needs are different. Some people thrive in large social circles, while others prefer a smaller, intimate group of friends. Find what works best for you and don't be pressured by societal expectations. And finally, don't forget the value of connecting with yourself. Spend time alone doing things you love and learn to enjoy your own company. This self-connection often acts as a foundation for connecting with others. Remember, social connections are key in combating loneliness. Another effective way to combat loneliness is by engaging in meaningful activities. These activities are more than just a distraction. They are a way to channel your energy into something positive and fulfilling. Let's start by understanding what we mean by meaningful activities. These are activities that you personally find enjoyable or fulfilling, that make you lose track of time, and that make you feel proud of yourself. It could be anything from painting, cooking, or gardening, to more introspective activities like journaling, meditation, or reading. Participating in such activities can provide a sense of accomplishment and purpose. When you engage in an activity that you love, you're not just keeping yourself busy, you're also creating something. This creation, whether it be a painting, a meal, or a well-tended garden, is a tangible representation of your effort and dedication. And that can provide a significant boost to your self-esteem. Moreover, immersing yourself in an activity can also foster a sense of mindfulness, where you're fully present and engaged in the moment. This mindfulness can help shift your focus away from feelings of loneliness to an appreciation of your own company. But what if you're not sure what activities you might enjoy or find meaningful? That's perfectly okay. Exploration is a part of the process. Try out different activities. See what piques your interest, what makes you feel good. Remember, the goal here is not to become a master at something, but to find enjoyment and fulfillment in the process of doing it. You might also consider joining clubs or groups related to your interests. Not only would this provide you with a regular activity to look forward to, but it could also open doors to new social connections. Remember, the key here is to find activities that resonate with you and that you look forward to. The more you enjoy the activity, the more likely you are to stick with it, and the greater the benefits you'll reap. Engaging in meaningful activities not only distracts you from feelings of loneliness, but it also provides a sense of fulfillment. Practicing self-care is also crucial in combating loneliness. Now, you might be wondering, what does self-care really mean? Self-care isn't just about bubble baths and spa days, although those can be part of it. It's about taking care of your physical, emotional, and mental well-being. It's about treating yourself with the same kindness, patience, and respect that you would extend to a dear friend. Self-care is an essential part of maintaining a healthy mental state. Just like a car, our mind and body need regular maintenance to perform at their best. If we neglect this maintenance, we may find ourselves running on empty, feeling isolated and overwhelmed. So how can we practice self-care? Well, one aspect of self-care is maintaining a healthy lifestyle. This includes eating a balanced diet, getting regular exercise, and staying hydrated. These actions might seem mundane, but they can have a profound impact on our mood and overall well-being. Getting enough sleep is another vital piece of the self-care puzzle. Our bodies and minds need time to rest and recharge. When we're sleep-deprived, we're more likely to feel irritable, anxious, and lonely. So, make sure you're giving yourself the 7 to 9 hours of sleep that experts recommend. Last, but certainly not least, is taking time for relaxation. This could be reading a book, going for a walk, or simply sitting quietly and breathing deeply. These moments of calm can help to reduce stress and increase feelings of self-worth and connection. And remember, self-care isn't selfish, it's necessary. It's about setting boundaries and making time for the things that nourish you. It's about being gentle with yourself and acknowledging that it's okay to take a break, to rest, to do something just for you. Remember, taking care of yourself is the first step in taking care of your mental health. Because when you care for yourself, you're in a better position to reach out and connect with others. And that, my friends, is a powerful antidote to loneliness. If your feelings of loneliness persist, don't hesitate to seek professional help. It's crucial to understand that sometimes, despite our best efforts, we may need additional support to navigate through our feelings. This is where professionals come into play. They are trained to understand the complexities of human emotions, including loneliness, and can provide you with strategies to manage it effectively. Therapists, psychologists, and counselors are equipped with an array of tools and techniques that can help you uncover the root of your loneliness and work towards overcoming it. They can provide a safe and supportive environment for you to express your feelings without judgment. You can find professional help through several avenues, such as local mental health clinics, online therapy platforms, or even through your primary care physician who can provide referrals. And always remember, it's completely okay to ask for help. In fact, it's admirable. Remember, seeking help is not a sign of weakness, but a sign of strength. Let's recap what we've learned today. We began by understanding loneliness, recognizing it not as a personal failing, but as a universal human experience. We can't tackle what we don't acknowledge, so we delved into acknowledging our feelings, giving ourselves permission to feel and express our loneliness without judgment or shame. We then highlighted the importance of seeking social connections, reaching out to people, and nurturing relationships. Remember, it's about quality, not quantity. We also underscored the value of engaging in meaningful activities. Activities that light a spark in you and make you feel alive. Next, we emphasized the importance of practicing self-care, taking care of your physical and mental health, and nurturing your well-being. Lastly, we discussed the significance of seeking professional help when necessary. Mental health professionals can provide valuable insights and tools to help you navigate your feelings of loneliness. Remember, you're not alone in your feelings of loneliness, and help is always available.